On News Hour tonight, obedience joined ADC as 2027 politics heats up. Last-minute legal troubles for tax laws implementation as business owners express mixed reactions. New year, new hopes. Nigerians speak on 2026. On the foreign scene, Mali and Burkina Faso say restricting entry for United States nationals is a reciprocal move. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has officially joined the African Democratic Congress, ADC, alongside other political leaders from the southeast. The declaration took place in Enugu, the state capital, on Wednesday. The report.
The leaders said the decision follows months of consultations and is aimed at collaborating with opposition figures nationwide to rescue Nigeria from the poor governance of the APC. Among those present were former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Emeka Ihedioha, Senators Ben Obi, Victor Ume, Tony Nwoye, and Gilbert Nnaji, Chief Onyema Ugochukwu, Einaya Abaribe, and Senator Sam Egwu. Also in attendance were former Senate President and the ADC National Chairman, David Mark, former Sokoto State Governor, Aminu Tambuwal, and other dignitaries. In his speech, Obi said his move to the ADC marks the start of a journey to rescue Nigeria from the APC. He also pledged that the opposition will resist any attempts to rig the 2027 elections, urging INEC to strictly follow electoral rules and regulations.
We've not seen people who benefited in our democracy be part of celebrating electoral fraud publicly. And we are saying that those who are planning to rig an election in Nigeria come 2027, we will resist it by every means lawful and legitimate.
Obi stressed the importance of unity among opposition parties, saying Nigeria needs competent leadership to overcome the current disunity. He also criticized the federal government's tax reforms, describing them as hostile to the people and harmful to economic growth.
Appeal to all of us, to those who are visiting us, that we must come together united to be able to fight this. We can no longer allow those by dividing us. We can no longer allow those who live by making us poor. Nigeria is not a poor country.
Peter Obi joins other political heavyweights, including Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, and Nasir El-Rufai, who earlier this year declared for the ADC, setting the stage for a major political contest to challenge the APC in the 2027 elections.
In a swift reaction, former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has welcomed Peter Obi to the African Democratic Congress, calling it a landmark moment for Nigeria's opposition coalition. Peter Obi, who formerly defected from the Labour Party at the Nike Lake Resort in Enugu State on Wednesday, urged Nigerians and opposition forces to unite under a broad national coalition to rescue Nigeria from poverty, disunity, and democratic decline. He also accused the current political leadership of economic mismanagement, state capture, and erosion of democratic values. Reacting via his verified X handle, Atiku Abubakar described Peter Obi's move as the beginning of a stronger, more coordinated opposition capable of challenging power and delivering credible governance. He expressed optimism that Peter Obi's entry into the ADC will deepen collaboration among opposition leaders and encourage more Nigerians to rally behind the coalition's agenda. Joining us on via Zoom to discuss Peter Obi's defection to the ADC is a political analyst, Jide Ojo. Good evening, Jide, and thank you for joining us.
Muhammad Kudu Abubakar, it's my pleasure. Happy New Year in advance.
Happy New Year in advance. What will you say? Will you say the ADC is giving a Happy New Year, or is it the APC that is getting the Happy New Year?
But whichever way you look at it, you either look at the cup as being half full or half empty. But I'm excited. I'm excited because we were eager to ending the year on a one-party dominant, one-party state. But Peter Obi and some of the Igbo chieftains have given us hope today that we are likely going to have a true dominant political party ahead of 2027 general elections. Because what has happened today is a rebirth of ADC. This is the first time that ADC is able to attract serving senators, serving House of Reps members, serving State House of Assembly members. Since July 2nd that this party was unveiled as the coalition platform, it has always been X this, X that has joined. But today, we have serving senators, at least 4 to 5 of them, joining ADC. We have about 18 House of Reps members joining ADC. We have a number of also State House of Assembly members joining. So, for me, it's a Happy New Year gift from ADC to Nigerians, because now APC will no longer rule with impunity. They will now watch their back, as I joined them to do way back in July when I wrote in my column in The Punch that ADC is coming. APC, watch your back. Now it's time to watch the back because I'm sure ADC going forward will give APC a run for its money in 2027.
Well, when you say ADC will give APC a run for its money, you know that there are hurdles. As an analyst, you must appreciate those hurdles. For example, is Peter Obi ready to be a running mate, or is Atiku going to step down? Who will be the presidential candidate for the ADC? Wouldn't that bring some ripples, and then we'll go back to square one?
But that's speculative. The same way it is also speculative at this point whether Atiku Abubakar will swallow his ambition and pave way for Peter Obi to emerge. I want to believe, Kudu Abubakar, that the whole negotiation that have lasted 6 months since the unveiling of the party may have revolved around this issue of whether Peter Obi will be given the opportunity to emerge, or whether Atiku Abubakar will insist on having his way, in which case Peter Obi will be a running mate, and then we'll have a reenactment of what happened in 2019 under PDP. But from the tone of Peter Obi, even days ahead of today's defection, he has said he will be on the ballot. Being on the ballot then means he is assured that he will be a presidential candidate, not just a running mate. And I have also heard that the obedient movement, who has thrown his weight behind it, said that he has to do not just 1 term, but 2 terms, and they will not support him if he's a running mate. So he is in a dilemma of sorts. Unless, and when you watch the defection today on the TV, all the chieftains of Igbo chieftains that spoke at that event were speaking in line of this is a liberation day for them, where this is about the best pathway to make them have an Igbo presidency in 2027. So perhaps they know what I don't know, or what you don't know. Maybe there has been a behind-the-scenes gentleman's agreement that Atiku Abubakar will not contest with Peter Obi, in which case they will have a brighter chance of ADC winning the presidency. And don't also forget, Kudu Abubakar, that Peter Obi himself has said he will do 1 term. He will do 1-term presidency so that power can shift back to the north in 2031. And Atiku Abubakar has also said he would do one term if elected. Rotimi Amici has said he would do one term if re-elected. But at least before we get to the presidential primaries, what I can see from my vantage position here is that many more serving senators, House of Reps members, State House of Assembly members, and who knows, one or two governors may have the boldness to now join ADC, now that at least there are a substantial number of people who are serving
Exactly, Jide,
senators
that was the
joining
question I
the
was going to ask you. Because
ADC
for
today.
us to notice, or to rather record 7 senators defecting, it means there may likely be serving governors behind them.
Well, it's not impossible that there are certain serving governors, and don't be deceived. Even though today APC may have about 28 governors under its platform, nothing stops these same governors from defecting to another party even ahead of 2027 general elections. Kudu Abubakar, you possibly cover politics in your days with NTA. I've seen now former governor of Abia State, Ochendo, Governor Theodore Orji, when he was governor of Abia State, he joined 3 political parties within 2 months. He was brought to power under PPA, which was Orji Uzor party at that time, and then he defected to ABGA, and then soon after he defected again to PDP. So it's not impossible that even those governors who have recently defected to APC, if they feel that their interests will no longer be guaranteed under APC platform, in some months to come, they can still find themselves under another platform. So for those governors, those serving senators, House of Reps members who have defected today, well, maybe they have the support of their own governors or the blessings of their own governors to allow them to go and defect. But whatever it is, the bottom line is that a new verb, a new enthusiasm, a new order has been opened, a new chapter has been opened in ADC. Whether it will result into winning the presidential election in 2027 is a different ballgame. But what I have seen today means that many more defections may come, many more defectors may actually pursue their 2027 presidential election under the ADC as an alternative to APC.
So what that means politically, 2026 is going to be a charged year and full of, it will unravel a lot of developments, if you like.
Well, of course, definitely. Well, even if ADC were not to be there, don't forget that there are 19 political parties, and there are about 8 more that will most likely be licensed in the coming year by INEC. So we may end up with about 20-something or about 30 political parties ahead of 2027. So all of these parties will bring something to the table. I still believe that there will be some diehard PDP members who will not defect, who will stay put in the party. There are those who will still stay put in Labour Party. For instance, the governor of Abia State, the only governor that Labour Party has produced thus far under this dispensation anyway, has said he will not defect. That's Alex Otti. He said he will not defect to any party, that he would rather stay behind to help rebuild the Labour Party. So we will see how those parties,
so
nonetheless.
Jide, thank you so much. Yes, certainly
when we say a de facto
will live
one
to
or
see
two party
most of these
state,
developments
we are saying
as
that
they unfold.
there will be dominant 1 or 2 political parties, while the others will still be existing, winning 1 or 2 or some positions at the Legislative Assembly.
Thank you so much, Jide, for your insights. Thank you so much. Jide Ojo is our public affairs analyst, and he's a regular on this platform. Thank you for your insights. The national leader of the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, has warned party members against defection, insisting that political betrayal has never brought lasting success. Kwankwaso, a former Kano State governor and the party's 2023 presidential candidate, spoke at a gathering of supporters at his residence amid reports that some NNPP members are planning to leave the party. His remarks came as speculations mount that Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf may be considering a move from the Kwankwasiya movement to the ruling All Progressives Congress. In a viral video from the meeting, Kwankwaso said he was not surprised by the alleged plans, stressing that defections would not weaken the NNPP. He maintained that the party's strength lies with the people, not individual office holders, pointing out that the large turnout at the gathering as evidence of strong grassroots support. Kwankwaso added that the NNPP remains committed to its core principles and progressive politics. As at the time of filing this report, Kano State government has not reacted to the defection claims. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana says the new tax laws cannot take effect until controversies over their legitimacy are resolved. Speaking in his Ilawe Ekiti hometown on Wednesday, Falana raised concerns over allegations that certain provisions were smuggled into the bills passed by the National Assembly. The law signed by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on June 26, 2025 and set to take effect on the 1st of January 2026 has sparked debate, with critics claiming discrepancies between the passed bills and the signed acts. President Tinubu, however, insists the reforms are crucial for building a fair, competitive and robust fiscal foundation, urging stakeholders to support the implementation. Falana, however, warned the government to justify the imposition of the taxes and threatened legal action over what he described as discriminatory provisions that exempt some companies. The National Association of Nigerian Students has announced plans to stage a nationwide protest on January the 14th, 2026, over the implementation of the newly introduced tax laws. In a statement, NAN's President Olushola Oladoja expressed dissatisfaction with the federal government's handling of the reforms, warning that they could worsen economic hardship for students and millions of Nigerians. He accused President Bola Tinubu's advisors of giving misguided advice and faulted the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zak Adedeji, over what he described as inadequate stakeholder consultation. Oladoja argued that the decision to begin implementation of the tax reforms from January the 1st, 2026 contradicts democratic principles, insisting that major policies should not be imposed without broad public consent. NANS also cited concerns reportedly raised by the National Assembly over discrepancies in the gazetted version of the law. The student body has therefore declared January the 14th a National Day of Action, directing its chapters nationwide to stage peaceful protests, including marches to the presidential villa in Abuja. Meanwhile, the new tax laws are about to take effect, but for many Nigerians, the policy feels distant, unclear, and worrying. Beyond government figures, the real issue is simple. What do the new tax laws mean for your job, your business, and your daily spending? Trust TV talks to Nigerians in business and public service about their understanding of what is to come.
For the federal government, the new tax laws promise higher revenue. For many Nigerians, they signal tighter margins and harder choices. Analysts say the burden will show first in small shops, transport costs, and household budgets already stretched by high prices.
Looking at how it's going to impact the life of Nigerians, how it's going to affect the life of people that does business and a lot of things. So let's come to Nigerians who actually earn a salary. Recall that once you are working for civil service, or you actually working for organized private sector, your tax is being removed at the source.
When taxes go up, businesses pass costs to customers, workers then spend less. That cycle affects everyone. In Gombe, traders say the policy hits close to home. Most of their customers are civil servants and low-income earners. When salaries barely last the month, even small tax changes matter.
As a matter of fact, this tax act, it will affect business owners because many buyers, many citizens as our environments, they don't have enough cash or enough money to buy goods. They are managing. They are small business we are small business owners.
To me, this tax bill that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu want to impose on the Nigerian citizens will really affect, especially civil servants. And if it affects civil servants, it will seriously again affect the business activities.
They say sales are already slow. Extra taxes could mean cutting staff, downsizing, or shutting down entirely. But beyond fear of losses, many business owners admit something else. They do not fully understand the new tax laws. What applies to them? How much will they pay? When does it start?
This is a reform. So definitely there will be benefits of reforms. You understand, for any reform. So Nigerians don't really understand because people are supposed to also, some persons, even in the media, we don't make it a national issue, discussing things like this. Tax issue is supposed to be discussed, on a national platform for the people to understand that this is, the world is driving into a taxation system where you use taxes to drive, certain developmental, project you want to do, bridge infrastructure gap and all that. So I think that there is still a lot to be done.
If journalists are still asking basic questions, then traders and workers are even more confused. Communication has been weak. For salary earners and transport workers, the concern is survival. They expect the impact to show quickly in food prices, transport fares, and rent.
Are they earning 70,000 naira as minimum wage? And with the rate of things now, the tax that they said is going to be, that's 10% according to the federal government, it's going to be very difficult for the salary earner to be able to do something substantial with his or her own income.
If there is individuals that will pay tax as Senate and House of Representatives, like honorables, ministers that earns ordinary wardrobe allowance in a year, we build mansions for them. They earn billions, trillions in a year.
They say the fear is not just paying tax, but paying it without seeing relief in return. The debate around the new tax laws is no longer abstract. It is about shop doors staying open, meals on the table, and money lasting till month end. Until Nigerians clearly understand what is at stake and how the policy affects them, resistance and anxiety will remain part of the conversation.
Indeed, it will remain part of the conversation. In new development, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has accused the federal government of using the EFCC to harass him and his officials over his refusal to join the ruling APC. Speaking on Wednesday during the signing of the 2026 appropriation bill into law, Governor Bala Mohammed said one of his commissioners is currently being detained by the anti-graft agency. The FCC recently filed a new criminal charge against Bauchi State's Finance Commissioner Yakubu Adamu over alleged terrorism financing involving $9.7 million. The PDP governor warned that no amount of pressure will force him to switch political parties, stressing that he had remained silent in the interest of peace, but may respond if the federal government persists. He also criticized the federal tax system arguing that it risks impoverishing Nigerians, and lamented that despite controlling 51% of national resources, the federal government has done little for Bauchi State.
I was just waking up to an occasion where I was told that I'm being accused of terrorism as a governor. Someone who is the head of the opposition. My commissioner has been kept and will not be released by an EFCC. Even when I have immunity as a governor, my name was stupendously mentioned in a motion in a court of law in Nigeria. Me, Bala Muhammad, who is recognized without my inkling for this kind of recognition. God is wonderful. I don't have to say anything. I don't even have to go to the public court. But certainly, politics has become something in Nigeria. But with this kind of people around, Mr. Magui and his colleagues, there is still hope in the country. The APC-led federal government think they can use the courts, the institution of government like the EFCC, to persecute and prosecute Nigerians that are not within their own party. If they don't stop, we are going to declare war.
Meanwhile, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Wednesday arraigned Bauchi State Commissioner for Finance, Yakubu Adamu, alongside 3 other officials before the Federal High Court in Abuja. They face a 10-count charge, including conspiracy, conversion of public funds, and alleged terrorism financing under the Money Laundering and Terrorism Prevention Acts. Prosecution counsel Samuel Chime told the court that the arraignment is to read the charges, which include receiving nearly $7 million outside a financial institution and allegedly providing over $2 million to fund terrorist activities. The defendants pleaded not guilty. Their lawyers have filed bail applications, which the court is set to rule on by January 5th, 2026. In the meantime, the accused remain in custody at Kuje Correctional Center as trial proceedings are scheduled to commence. Operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit of the Zamfara State Police Command have foiled a bandits' attack along Gusau-Ansado Road, rescuing 5 women and children. According to the command spokesperson, DSP Yazid Abubakar, the operatives were on confidence-building patrol when they encountered distressed motorists whose movement had been blocked by armed bandits. The police swiftly engaged the attackers, forcing them to flee into the bush, with possible gunshot injuries, abandoning their victims. Investigations revealed that the bandits had earlier abducted women and children traveling from Wenke to Gusau and were attempting to take them into the bush before being overpowered. The rescued victims were taken to Gusau, given medical attention, and reunited with their families. Suspected Boko Haram insurgents have killed 8 people in Adamawa State, sparking fresh fears over security in the region. The attacks occurred on Monday night in Za, Kijin, and Mubang villages of Hong, local government area of Adamawa State. Local sources say 4 others remain missing following the assault. The chairman of Hong local government area, Ino Usman Waangada, confirmed the recovery of 8 bodies but provided no details on the missing persons. Earlier attacks had also been reported in nearby Mayo Lade and Garaha districts, highlighting the ongoing insecurity affecting communities in the state. Authorities are yet to announce measures to protect residents who remain on edge after the latest wave of violence. As the world prepares to welcome 2026, residents of Jos, the Plateau State capital, reflect on the year gone by and share their hopes for the new year. Ado Musa has the report.
2025 was a challenging year for many Nigerians, marked by economic difficulties, insecurity, and social issues affecting daily life. Residents of Jos share their experiences, recalling heights and lows of the past year.
Things that I didn't like about 2025 was insecurity, you know, the problems of not being able to relate with our friends from both sides of the divide, the political divide.
In this 2025 comes with many challenges of insecurity, you know, people are dying, you know, people, you know, leaving their home villages to the town. People cannot be able to go to their farms.
The level of insecurity, then the rate of accidents too. I lost a lot of friends due to accident this year, this month, and it was very painful.
There was a lot of hardship. The hardship was massive, but to me, thank God, we are scaling through the hardship. And
as they look back, residents also expressed their expectations for 2026, hoping for improved security, better economic opportunities, and responsive governance.
Yes, my expectations for 2026 will be that I will see an improvement in the economy, such that what I do will also improve.
Begging on the government, we are calling on the federal government to make laws that will favor what? The poor, not only the rich. When you watch, the poor are the ones that are suffering, especially if they take it to court. If you don't have money, you are in problem. They will lock you up. But when you have money, you don't usually go to court. You just find one room and just see that everything will be sorted out. Understand? And a lot of our leaders, they have invested so much. And with the youth, we are suffering it. So once what? Justice must be prevailed between the poor and the rich.
Well, the expectation is that the dollar will come down, because the dollar affects everything. Once the dollar is out, it affects transport, it affects food, it affects clothes, it affects school fees, everything. The government are trying, let them bring the cost of dollar down. And I'm sure many Nigerians will be happy with the government.
Come 2026 is for them to sit down at the table, round table, where they could pinpoint our issues, and they should listen to the masses. Because when the election comes, it's still us that will use to still get to that place. But when they get to that place, they don't remember that there are people that elected them to those offices where they occupy. So my suggestion for them is for them to put their heads together and listen to the masses of this country.
Despite the challenges of 2025, authorities assure Nigerians that steps are being taken to address social and economic issues, aiming to make 2026 a year of progress and positive change. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
With just hours to the dawn of the new year, residents of Delta State are voicing their hopes and expectations for 2026. Jonathan Awanya reports from Warri, where optimism for a better year ahead remains strong. He argued that while some residents are hopeful for an improved economic outlook, others stress the urgent need for responsive and responsible governance. The report.
As the calendar counts down to the beginning of another year, a sense of anticipation fills the air. The familiar optimism that comes with the promise of a fresh start. For residents here in Delta State, like many across the country, the new year represents an opportunity for positive change and a chance to overcome the challenges of the past year.
That we've seen regarding court cases, the government operation, security operation, and otherwise, favor the bourgeoisie than the proletariat. We see discrimination in the operation of the government, the security, and the court in this 2025, which we see that fundamental human rights as enshrined in the Constitution were not fully respected by the current administration. On that note, I want to appeal to them that since this year is winding down, we are entering 2026, sooner that the fundamental right that enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must be respected to the lapana.
Where 2026 is going to be good is that if you check the number 2 is a very good number. It's a number that can divide itself. 2 divide 2 give you 1. 2 can divide 6 give you 3, isn't it? 6 can also divide himself. So it's a multiple breakthrough. It's a year of multiple breakthrough, where mountains will be melted, solutions will be given. So it's a year somebody should look to.
Concerns over insecurity and the state of the economy feature prominently in the expectations shared by residents, many of whom said they are dissatisfied with the country's current direction and are eager for meaningful improvement.
This new went so with the beg government, make government look into this matter. The economy is today hard for us. Food stuff is very high. Every temperature is very high. So we beg government, make government must make our for New Year for better. And this tax must they talk about so it still not make sense to me because what we say they sell for markets, I don't want to cook. We say our customers they sell us money 247. So I don't want to cook, but we beg the government, make government look into the matter for us, make our New Year for better. At least this is one come so the year hard for us to make our next year want us to make the year better for us. I beg government.
As voices across the state reflect on the year ahead, the shared hope is for 2026 to bring tangible progress, marked by improved security, responsive leadership, and policies that stimulate economic growth and improve living conditions. Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, 2025 Kaltungo Festival showcases peace, culture, and tourism. We'll have more news when we return. Don't go away. Welcome back to News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories. Obedience joined ADC as 2027 politics heats up. And last-minute legal troubles for tax laws implementation as business owners express mixed opinions. Kebbi State Government has expressed deep condolences to the management and staff of Nia Agari following the partial collapse of a section of its rice mill in Brindin Kebbi. The incident, which occurred early Tuesday morning, has claimed at least one life, while 5 others remain trapped under the rubble. Deputy Governor Umar Abubakar Tafida led a government delegation on an on-the-spot assessment overseeing ongoing rescue operations conducted by the State Fire Service and other emergency response teams. Speaking at the scene, Deputy Governor Abubakar Tafida assured that the state government will continue to support rescue efforts until all affected individuals are accounted for. He added that the cause of the structural failure is yet to be determined, promising a full investigation once the rescue exercise is concluded. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, is worried about the rising number of highway crashes, especially during festive periods. The Corps says reckless driving remains the main reason for the upsurge in road crashes. Amina Ibrahim has the report.
Speaking on our morning show, the head of the Corps National Traffic Radio, Sisi Honey Ogundayo, said reckless driving remains the top cause of road crashes nationwide. She said the problem gets worsened during festive season due to heavy traffic and long-distance journey. She listed speeding, drunk driving, driver fatigue, and overloading as the common trigger of crashes at this time. According to her, the FRSC has stepped up a public awareness and road safety campaigns to reduce risky behaviors and protect lives.
We want attitudinal change. We want people to be intentional. We want people to make up their mind that you will not kill somebody on the road and you will not allow somebody to kill you on the road.
On the roads, drivers and passengers continue to trade blames over unsafe practice. Some drivers says passengers often push them to speed so they can arrive early.
Overspeeding is a major cause of road accidents. Many passengers arrive at motor parks late but still hope to reach their destinations early, so they begin to pressure the driver. This alone creates unnecessary pressure on the driver, especially during this period when the roads are busy and traffic volume is high.
What we normally encountered on the road are, let me just say, roughness and some negligence by some drivers. Because you see, like in this our Abuja road now, most of the drivers, there's something we call kalangu in Hausa, you understand?
In a sense that you carry 4 passengers in the front. So for a driver to get a normal space to drive, he can't get it. And the road again, There are many potholes, just like he said, and some drivers drive anyhow. The authority people, you just give them money and you pass. They are not checking anything. They are not checking anything. When you came, they will only show you your hand. When you give them, then they allow you to go. That is what is happening on the road.
Passengers admit that this happens sometimes, but it is not deliberate. Others accuse drivers of overloading vehicles to increase earning, putting everyone at risk.
You can see now I am almost 1 hour plus now in this park, and we are going to Jos. Up to now, look at the vehicle, it's empty. It's only 2 or 3 of us we are here. We don't know even which time we are leaving here.
That's just look at these buses now you are seeing here. Most passengers, they are coming with 10 bags, some 5, some 7, and carrying all these loads. Some drivers, they will not even, in fact, they cannot even know how to load it in their vehicles. Some of them, they will start putting it up the vehicles. And doing all those things is one of the measures to protect passenger from traveling, because if you do not load those goods, or you are telling them to do it that they are going to put it in one vehicle, it will become a problem between driver and passengers.
FIRSC is calling on drivers and passengers to share responsibility for safety on the roads. The corps says no trip is worth a life, and patience must come before speed or profit. Amina Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has warned that he will make public the agreement he reached with Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara if the governor fails to disclose it to the people of the state. Wike issued the warning at a stakeholders meeting in Eleme local government area, Rivers State, insisting that President Bola Tinubu had honored commitments made to him, citing his appointment as FCT minister and the inclusion of Rivers State indigents in key federal positions. The former Rivers State governor cautioned politicians from outside the state to stay out of Rivers politics, stressing that only those who understand its political dynamics should be involved. Wike said his visit to Eleme was to thank the people for their support, adding that backing or supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had yielded positive results. Leaders across party lines, including former lawmakers and council officials, pledged continued loyalty to Wike and support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while a plaque was presented to the minister in recognition of his contributions to the development of Eleme. Meanwhile, the Rivers State government has clarified the 100,000 naira Christmas bonus paid recently that the state government paid recently to all civil servants and public servants in the state without discrimination. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Information and Communications, Ono Sirao, said the bonus is paid across board to workers and pensioners captured on the state payroll system and has been a consistent practice for the past 3 years. He explained that the payment is a token of appreciation for the dedication and service of public servants, and it was issued following commendation from the Nigeria Labour Congress. The clarification comes after the Rivers State House of Assembly announced it had returned a similar amount credited to lawmakers' personal accounts, describing the transfer as unsolicited and unapproved. The Assembly insisted that all public spending must follow due process and legislative approval. However, the state government reaffirmed Governor Siminalayi Fubara's commitment to workers' welfare, describing labor unions as key partners in the Rivers' first development agenda. Northern traditional rulers were in Kaltungo as part of the 2025 Kaltungo Annual Cultural Festival to celebrate the rich cultural heritage, resilience, and commitment of the people of the area, while showcasing peaceful coexistence and harmony. The carnival is aimed at promoting tourism, cultural exchange, and economic growth. Trust TV's Adamu Imam was at the carnival and now reports.
The 2025 festival attracted various cultural groups from far and near, coming together in the spirit of friendship and unity across diverse cultural traditions. The arrival of the governor of Gombe State, the Mai Kaltungo engineer Saleh Muhammad Umar, alongside emirs, chiefs, and other invited dignitaries from across the region, signaled the official commencement of the festival. The royal host, the Michael Tungo, expressed appreciation to the government and traditional institutions for their continued efforts and resilience in promoting peace and unity in the country.
We really appreciate our sons and daughters for their constant support and cooperation in this cultural festival, especially Kauran Kaltungo for his tireless effort in promoting our cultural diversity, which is our strength, and for the development of Kaltungo as a people. I urge others to always support our culture and exhibit maturity in handling issues of peace and brotherhood at all times.
Kaltungo occupies a unique and significant place in the history and development of Gombe State and Nigeria at large. The town is known for its rich cultural heritage, peaceful coexistence, agricultural strength, and its role as a melting pot of diverse communities living together in harmony. These values are worthy of celebration and preservation for generations yet unborn.
Also speaking, the Emir of Hadejia, Alhaji Adamu Abubakar Maje, urged the people to continue supporting traditional institutions in their role of fostering unity and development. The festival reached its climax with colorful procession by cultural groups, captivating performance, and the exhibition of traditional meals unique to the Kaltungo people and their neighboring communities. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Kaltungo.
Otolokbo Kingdom in Ika Northeast local government area of Delta State has hosted its annual cultural festival, a colorful celebration of the community's rich heritage and enduring traditions. The event held in the heart of the kingdom brought indigents and guests together, promoting unity, reconciliation, and peaceful coexistence. Jonathan Awanya completes the report.
The festival featured a breathtaking display of cultural expressions, with participants adorned in elaborate traditional attires representing the Anyama and Ika ethnic groups. The celebration highlighted the rich cultural tapestry that defines Otolokbo Kingdom, showcasing the diversity and uniqueness of its ancestral heritage.
Very fulfilled that the third carnival of Otolokbo Kingdom has taken place again today. We started in 2023, December 28, 29, 30th. We did in 24, 28, 29, 30. This is 25, the third edition of Otolokbo Carnival. And you can see that the thing is moving very well, with a lot of cultural troops from all over Delta State. And by the grace of God, we are going to continue, we are not going to stop.
It's a fantastic one, just like we've been doing for the past 3 years. It is loaded with different cultures from different villages in Eka Kingdom. It is an annual ritual, which of course, for this year, there is no difference. It's a thing that we have to thank God for. That even as we are doing it, we have scheduled for 2026 by the special grace of God.
Speaking on the significance of the festival, the Obi of Otolokbo Kingdom emphasized that embracing cultural differences requires celebrating diversities through such gatherings. He also underscored the importance of sustained peace and unity among members of the community.
Our cultures are coming back speedily, and our youth, that's the only way to go, as a matter of fact. But it is our way of life. Our culture, our tradition is our way of life. And if you go around the villages, you will know that indeed the culture is back here. So what we're doing here, powered by our son, especially our own David Ibodo, Chief Udoka for Tolubu Kingdom. You know, he's doing everything he can with our own support to make sure we sustain this whole thing.
The Otolopo Cultural Festival stands as a powerful reminder of the kingdom's roots and its vital role in preserving Nigeria's cultural heritage. Beyond the colorful displays and performances, the event symbolized a collective commitment to fostering love, mutual understanding, and harmony among diverse communities. Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
Away from culture to budgetary matters, the Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri has signed the 583.3 billion naira 2026 budget into law following its passage by the State House of Assembly. The approved budget allocates 209.64 billion naira, or about 36% for recurrent expenditure, while 373.69 billion naira, about 64%, is earmarked for capital projects. Governor Fintiri said the budget focuses on strategic priorities, including strengthening infrastructure, expanding education and healthcare, creating jobs, and supporting citizens' welfare. The governor added that the budget was prepared after extensive consultations and reflects the needs and aspirations of communities across Adamawa State. On security, the governor announced plans to deploy some trained forest guards to haunt local government area to address emerging challenges. The signing ceremony was attended by the Deputy Governor, Professor Kale Tapua George Farauta, the Speaker of the State Assembly, and members of the Adamawa State House of Assembly. In business, financial institutions in Nigeria will begin charging a 15 naira stamp duty on electronic transfers of 10,000 naira and above from January 1st, 2026, following the implementation of the new Tax Act. The development was disclosed in notices sent by banks to customers ahead of the policy rollout under the arrangement. The 15 naira charge, also known as the Electronic Money Transfer Levy, will apply as one-off fee on qualifying electronic transfers across all commercial banks and financial institutions. In separate emails to customers, United Bank for Africa and Access Bank confirmed that the levy will now be uniformly referred to as stamp duty. Banks clarified that the charge is separate from regular transfer fees and will be clearly displayed at the point of transaction. Transfers below 10,000 naira are exempt, while salary payments and intra-bank transfers will not attract the levy. The new policy replaces previous percentage-based deductions and is aimed at improving transparency and simplifying compliance for customers. On the foreign scene, Mali and Burkina Faso have announced travel restrictions on American nationals in a reciprocal move following the United States' inclusion of both countries on a no-entry list. The announcements came from the foreign ministries of the two West African nations. Burkina Faso said it will apply equivalent visa measures on Americans, while Mali declared that United States citizens will face the same entry requirements imposed on Malian nationals. Both countries expressed regret over the U.S. decision, saying it was made without prior consultation. The move follows a broader expansion of the United States travel ban this month, which targeted nearly 40 countries, including several African nations. The ban are based solely on nationality and affect citizens the U.S. says could threaten its security. Mali and Burkina Faso, both run by military juntas, said the measures were intended to mirror the U.S. restrictions and maintain reciprocity. No official statement has yet come from the neighboring Niger, although reports suggest similar measures may be implemented. In sports, it's time for an update with Adeni Ajishafe.
The 2025 Battle of the Ages Boxing Championship made a return after weeks of inactivity as boxers converge for Fight for Glory tourney held at Campus Square, Mini Stadium, Lagos Island. In some of the boxing bout results, Sikiru Shogbeson won by technical knockout after Semi Olapade retired in round 2 in the National Super Featherweight Challenge. Oluwatosin Adesina emerged victorious by unanimous decision over Abdullah Adeyemo in the National Super Bantamweight, as Adewale Adesokun also won by unanimous decision over Salah Nuruddin in the same category. Oluwasegun Mustafa through unanimous decision upstage Oluwatoyin Omotosho the National Super Welterweight bout. Adeola Oyeshiji knocked out Simisola Popola to become the new National Bantamweight champion, as Lawal Ahmed of Nigeria knocked out Ghislaine Juduvnesi of Benin Republic in round 1 to become the World Boxing Association African Featherweight champion. Meanwhile, Kwasi Klalevi of Benin Republic lost to Afolabi Shitu of Nigeria by unanimous decision in the International Super
Boxing. There are 3 things that are likely to happen. It's either a draw, a loser, or a win. And I was so happy with everything that happened today. With the crowd, the excitement from the boxer, I'm not surprised.
Amateur and professional boxers across Africa showcasing their boxing skills and Ghana point for ranking. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Aji Shafe.
Before we go, here are some of the countries that have already welcomed the new year, 2026. Australia ushered in the new year with a spectacular fireworks display over Sydney Harbour. About 40,000 fireworks lit up the Opera House, Harbour Bridge and surrounding waterfront, preceded by a minute's silence in honor of victims of the Bondi Beach attack. Images of a menorah were also projected to show solidarity with the Jewish community earlier in New Zealand welcomed 2026 with fireworks launched from Auckland's Sky Tower, while Kiribati became the first place in the world to ring in the new year. Across Asia, countries including Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and Taiwan marked the occasion. In Hong Kong, authorities replaced fireworks with a light show following a deadly apartment fire in November. Take a look. With that, we'll conclude the end of the news hour from Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news. Thank you for watching, and here's wishing you happy and prosperous 2026. I'm Muhammad Kuda Abubakar.